Family, welcome, welcome. All right. Guys, this is super, super exciting. I'm like a little kid in a sandbox, right? I get to play with my friends, and I've got a celebrity here. He is an international celebrity. Many of you know him, especially if you run alongside our circles. And many of you may not know him, and that's okay too, because this is the opportunity for all of us to get to expand our networks and to learn more about each other. So guys, listen, Jim Hetherington. Yes, I'm speaking of none other than Jim Hetherington. He's authored multiple books. This is one of the books that he's co-authored with the foreword done by Les Brown. We've all heard of Les Brown, right? And so Jim Hetherington is not only an author and an international speaker, but he's coached Daniela and I in the relationship space. So something that I don't share publicly all the time, but Jim Hetherington and his coaching, his mentorship has really saved our marriage. So I think that's pretty heavy, right? To be able to come out and this is not something that I share lightly. So when I get the opportunity to talk about people that have impacted me and my wife personally, I can't wait to share it out. So, but while we're not talking about relationships and marriages right now, we're talking about something really, really special that Jim is endeavoring to do. And let me bring our good friend, mentor, Jim Hetherington on stage. Daniela,
hey. I can hear the thunderous applause from here.
Yes, the applause are all over.
There you go. There you go. That's better. That's better.
Encore already. All right.
That's great.
Joining me, man. Listen, there's a lot going on, as you heard from the intro. Danielle and I hold you and Mary in high esteem. We're so grateful for all that you've done for us and for many, many others. You also have a background in ministry. And I think you left me a voice note saying yesterday you were doing some pastoral work yesterday.
Yes, that's right. I still get called in from time to time to fill in for our pastor, if he's away or not feeling well. And so yeah, I still get to do that once in a while. It's just so much fun.
Amen, brother. Amen. I appreciate you, man. And I know we attempted earlier, we were going live. And this is something that we have not publicly, you and I, this is the first time that we're talking about something that you invited me into. And we've had many conversations with people individually. And now it looks like we're able to talk about it. But please, what is it that I'm so excited about?
I have no clue. What are you talking about? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, this has been great because to lead in with what you started with. There is a lot going on today, right? There's a lot going on virtually, a lot going on with in-person events. Everybody is looking to get their place, their spot, and so on. And so that's why we started having this conversation. A year and a half ago, I started thinking about what we could do because you and I are in similar spaces where we want to support authors, speakers, coaches to mentor and support them. And that's been my main focus for the last 8 years. And I'm always looking for new ways to support them in getting leverage, right? Because it's all about leverage. Anybody can write. I can write. I'm dyslexic. I got grade 9 education. I could write a book. Anybody could write a book. But it's what we do after the book. And that's where I really saw a lot of authors struggling. And I'm sure you've seen the same thing. So now I've gone to work to think ways we can leverage that. How can we create that? How can we go to an event and come up with social media assets, with media assets that we could use afterwards? How do we leverage the knowledge that we put into the book? How do we leverage the stuff that we've got here between our ears and really make that happen? So I got thinking about that. And I was thinking that it would be wonderful to do a world record attempt. And I got thinking about Guinness World Records because they're the masters of keeping world records, right? They're one of the only ones. I was just talking to the guy this morning, my adjudicator this morning. They're the only institution in the world that keeps track of records. They're the only ones. So nobody else, there's no other competition. They're the only ones that really are masterful at keeping records. So I thought, why not do that? And so we looked into the archives and we discovered that there was a world records attempt done here in Toronto, which is my backyard, that you came up to and you were part of. I was traveling at the time. I couldn't be a part of it. And so I thought, why don't we do it again? And I thought, well, where do we do it? Well, we had more relationship down in in Philly and New Jersey and Maryland and down in that area. I thought, well, that'd be a terrific spot to do it. And then as I got talking to people, they said, well, you realize it's our 250th anniversary this year of the Declaration of Independence. I thought, well, then Philly has to be the area that we do it in. And so that's what we're doing. We're doing a world records attempt in Philly on May 29th and 30th. May 30th is going to be the full day event where we actually do it. And people are going to be able to be a part of a book. And I know already people are thinking, I don't need to be in a book. I don't want to be in another book. I don't want to write another chapter. We have made it so easy. In fact, I'm going to talk in a minute about, you've already written your chapter for this book, haven't you?
Yeah. It took it's literally 5 minutes.
That's right. And that's what we're going to talk about in a second. So I want to encourage people to be a part of this because it ties in with your history. It ties in with legacy. And that's what we do. That's why we do what we do, right? We're not writing books just for the sake of writing books. We don't want to be in a book just to be on a stage. We want to leave a legacy. There's stuff that we want to do. We want to impact people. We want to influence people. We want to inspire people. And that all, in my opinion, equals legacy. And so that's why we're introducing the Author Legacy Circle. And this is a brand new event. This is going to be the premier one that we're doing in Philadelphia on the 250th anniversary of your Declaration of Independence.
Yes, Daniela, let's go for that. That right there. I mean, that's just mic drop stuff right there. Where's that clap? Let's keep it going. Thank you, my brother. Listen, thank you for sharing that with us. And I know when you and I jumped on a call, I was just like, my eyes lit up. I was like, wow. Like, I thought the record would never be broken again, right? Because it was done in 2020 in your backyard, Mississauga, Canada. And it was just a great moment for me. And I've shared it out publicly, well, privately, and on some stages, like how this thing helped me. And I'll share this with you, and I'll share this with those people that are watching, that we all have awards. We all can say we're a part of an anthology, and those are all very special. Never discounting that at all. Those things have really opened the doors for me. But I have to say, nothing has opened more doors and has leveled out the playing field, all things being equal, than having this right here. Right. And this is what we're sharing with you all, that, being able to say that I've been a part of a Guinness World Record event has been the game changer for me. So I'm so excited, man, that you're doing a lot of work, because this isn't easy. You can't just call up the Guinness World Record, right? And say, I think I want to break a record. How does that work?
Yeah, no, it took a little while just to get by the first gatekeeper to have a conversation with someone to take a little bit further. And I was just going through the email thread today, and I had 44 emails just with one of the people at Guinness, just to work out all the details before I got handed over to all the other departments. But yeah, so there is a lot of work to put this together, but it's going to be worth it. It's absolutely going to be worth it, because like you say, it's unique. It's something that only this group of people can say that we're a part of. And that's what we're shooting for. The goal is 130 authors to break the record. And the aspiration is 250 to align with your 250th anniversary. And I have no doubt that down in that tri-state area and beyond, I mean, we got people coming from Canada down there already. We got people from Texas that are already committed to coming up. I got people from Florida that have committed to coming up, Georgia coming up. So we got all kinds of states that are already starting to come up into, the Philly backyard. And it's just going to be an exciting day. And not only will you be, the world record attempt, be in that legacy book that's going to be passed on to generation after generation after generation, but we're going to make this whole thing focused around legacy, around media assets. How do we create content from what we've written, and how do we continue to stay in front of our audiences and build our audiences, build influence? That's what the focus is going to be. We've got so many different things that are going to be happening around that. It's just going to give all the authors, speakers, coaches, the leaders. I mean, these are people that are really serious about where they want to go, serious about going to that next level. And that's what we're collecting in this room. And it's going to be exciting.
My brother, thank you for sharing this, Jim. And I want anyone at this point in time, if this has really piqued your interest at all, and you're like, this is really exciting, I'd like to learn more, please just drop your contact information, reach out to my wife, Daniela, or just personally send me an email. Daniela, if you don't mind, I typically don't do this, but you know what? Go ahead, RevEmilioRoman@gmail.com, and just put down Guinness World Record, right? Or just put down anything with Guinness. So that way we can immediately reach out to you and find out if this makes sense to you. And my mentors once taught me, if it makes sense, it makes dollars. And I can tell you that this has blessed me so much. In fact, Jim, you and we're in a lot of rooms, right? And let me tell you the one thing that this has done for me, and this is pretty cool. You'll appreciate this. I was in a meeting with some high performers, and everybody's talking and sharing. And the lady came up and said, before it all started, she goes, "Can we go around the room and introduce ourselves and go ahead and answer the question, something that's interesting that most people don't know about you?" So everybody's kind of like, okay. It comes to me and I'm like, "Hello, my name is Emilio Roman." And most people don't know that I'm in the Guinness World Record for being one of the most authors signing a book simultaneously. Guess what happened? Everyone in there, all I did was to go wow in their heads. So yeah. I had a lot of conversations. And by the way, I can say this here, hand to God, it translated into, I had one gentleman I did business with. He may have not even really given me a second thought, but that got him to stop the scroll. And while we're not promising you that same result, we are promising that if you show up, you're going to level up your credibility for sure.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because it's one of those recognized brands. They're trustworthy. They're integral. Everybody goes to it. I mean, people who doesn't love flipping through those books, looking at all the unique records that have been done, and we're going to be, have the opportunity to be a part of something like that. And that's what makes it unique and exciting. And that's what sets it apart, because it's not one of these trendy things that everybody's doing. It's unique and different, and it's going to be spectacular.
You know what? Thank you, my brother. And you know what, Daniela, let's just already give credibility to some people who already said yes. Is that okay, Jim? I'm going to put
absolutely, yes.
Here's some great names already that I've already said yes. Stephen T. Miller, a beloved veteran, has already said yes. Patrick Rude, he said yes the first time. So let me tell you, Patrick Rude from Rude Financial Services out of New Jersey, he's already, he got on ABC or one of these major outlets as the accountant who's been in the Guinness World Record, right? I mean, it's just incredible. It opens more doors. Dr. Vinnie Cochran, our beloved Dr. Vinnie Cochran, 30 plus years in the United States Marine Corps. Why are we sharing this? Because if people who are already successful in their own right and in their own lane are saying yes, that should make you go, we got Raymond Giles, right? Raymond Giles, another veteran. What can you tell me? These are just a few names. What can you say about some of these folks?
Oh, well, Raymond, he's been working with me. He's been supporting me behind the scenes because, as you know, now he's into the travel space, right? He's got a travel agency. So he's been working behind the scenes to help secure the venue for this place. And he went to work right away. And he said, "I'm in. And can I support you doing this?" I said, "I would absolutely love that." And so I took my hands off. He went to work. He contacted over 18 venues in Philly and secured the one that was just ultimately the best choice.
Wow, outstanding. Yeah. And this is what we're talking about, guys. I'm telling you, this is exciting. Again, is you can look at the scroll, Guinness World Record attempt going down in Philadelphia, May 29th and the 30th in Philadelphia. But listen, and if by chance you can't make the 29th, understand the 30th is actually the date. It's actually the date that it goes down. So just in case you can't take 2 days off, the day to show up, right? Do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, no, I mean, the full day, the 30th that's the day, we'll have some amazing people sharing and encouraging and inspire. Those are going to be the days that we got the little area set up for media assets to get video, to get photographs, and that's the day we're actually going to do the record attempt. We're going to sit down and we're going to have the book, do the signing, do everything that day. The Friday evening, that's for those that want to play at the higher level. It's the VIPs, it's the sponsors, it's those that know that being in a room like that, is important to be in. So that's a special invitation to come in for the Friday night, just to hang out with that caliber of people, and then all day Saturday just going for it. And it is going to be a packed day. It's just going to be packed.
Man, listen, I'm excited. You're bringing back a flood of memories of the 2020 event, and just to be able to go, oh my God, I get to do this with my friend and mentor, someone who we hold in high esteem, Jim Hetherington. It's incredible. So it was incredible back then. I would say this event will definitely top that. I'm not taking anything away, but just it's a different time, a different time and space. I have to say that. Let me keep going. So Steve Moore is also joining us, a beloved veteran. He's going to be, he said yes. Casper Stockham and Cheryl Stockham, wonderful couple in the ministry. And I don't know, Jim, if you knew them prior, but there's something special going on with them. What do you want to say about this beautiful couple?
Oh yes, they just jumped in and they said, yes, we want to play at the higher level. And I know I can say this because they've already posted it on Facebook, but they're actually creating a book out of this. It just inspired them when we said it's 250 years. They're thinking, well, we need to collect 250 couples to talk about relationships and build a whole. So they're working on their own project as a side. It's absolutely amazing. I love it.
Wow. Wow, guys, you see this? Just again, one spark, one idea. Again, the power of collaboration, bringing people together. And we love the whole theme. It's 250-year anniversary, right? Of the U.S. and how you position that. And actually, last year was the 250th anniversary of the United States Marine Corps, the birth of the Marine Corps.
Wow.
Yeah. So when you and I talked, I had thought that 2026 would be too late, but it was just two things happening back to back.
Right. Yeah. No, I think it's exciting. And I mean, it's so fitting when you think about the Declaration of Independence. You think about what the forefathers had to do. You know, they were risking their lives. They were risking everything to sign that declaration, to create that document and sign it. They were just putting their lives on the line. And we're going to have someone at that event that's actually tied to the original Clark family that was from the Philly area back in the day. I believe that the Clark's farm is still there on the outskirts of the city. But they got some amazing stories of things that were happening during the Revolution, doing all the different things historically. Is just absolutely phenomenal. And we're going to be sharing some of that stuff on the day of as well.
Man, this guy, I'm telling you, this thing just got real. Really exciting. People are traveling from all points U.S., as Jim shared earlier, definitely Canada. And I wouldn't be surprised if people are coming from the South Africa region. I see it. Like I see folks as we get closer. So having said that, make sure that you're not the one that misses out. My mentor taught me that there are two types of pain in life. There's the pain of discipline, which weighs ounces, and then there's the pain of regret, which weighs a ton. And I can tell you, missing out, this isn't a FOMO speech. Like if you miss out on this, you know, this may never happen again. It's just facts. It takes a lot of effort. And Jim has already gone through it. He just told you one email. He had 44. He looked at that one email, had 44 threads on it. They're not. And the full disclosure, I attempted to do this. They never got back to me. And so when Jim connected with me, I'm like, you got through? I'm like, Jim, whatever I can do to help you, because I knew that he had busted the door down.
Yes.
So my brother, I have Engels said yes. He's been working with you. Engels Venezuela. Kimberly Wardell. She's committed to it as well. She's committed.
Yeah.
We have Marilyn Morales. She said yes.
Yes.
My God, Marianne Costello and Rich, Dr. Paul Miller, and a couple of guys. There's a bunch of folks that we just wanted to publicly acknowledge, just to make the point that who is this for? So is this for someone who's just an author? No,
it's not for someone that's just an author. It's someone that is not an author. We've been talking with others that are looking to get themselves published. They're poets, for example. They have poetry they've been writing, but they weren't able to afford to publish a book. So this is giving them a unique opportunity to get in here and get published, get recognized as someone. So it's someone that's wants to be tied to legacy, tied to this kind of movement. that happens long after that can support them getting into a book. I've had people that are already in multiple books and they're going, I don't need to be. Why do I need to be in another book? It's not about the book. Like the book is one thing. Yes, it's exciting to be, to say you're an author or you're a multiple author. It's wonderful to say that, but it's about the legacy. It's about it's all the things that we're building into this. And it's learning how to leverage that, because one of the things I've recognized, I've worked with authors that have 2 and 3 books and they've done 0 with them. But then when I start working with them and teaching some of these things that we're going to be sharing on the day of the event, it just changes everything for them, because all of a sudden they go, oh, wait a second. I've already done this much work. That's easy to leverage, but it's you don't know what you don't know, and it's once you get shown, then all of a sudden you go, okay, now I can do that. Like in one exercise, I'm going to teach people how you can take one thought and come up with 30 days of content without using ChatGPT. You use this brain, and you can come up with a month's worth of content that you can use on social media and for short reels and for other posts. And those are the kind of things that we're building into it. You mentioned Engels. Engels and I are working on something in the background where we're going to be talking about copy and marketing and advertising and building good websites and landing pages, and couple that with the opportunity to be able to build, create content and create different things, and how to leverage what you've already got. Because I guarantee, like somebody that's got 1, 2, or 3 or 4 more books, or somebody that's just stepping in with this one book, they can learn how to leverage that in a whole new way. And even as simple as what this chapter is. I mean, can we talk about that for a minute? How easy we made it to do this chapter?
Yeah, brother. And you know what? And to your point, listen, I'm excited. I'm like, my God, is May 29th here yet? And the 30th? Because as Jim is breaking this down to you, what's the first word? And I know Jim knows this. What's the first word in authority? Daniela, if you don't mind writing this down, right? So a lot of us, and what Jim is saying, you have a service, you have a product, right? You could be a barber, you could be a dog groomer. It doesn't matter. But if you're the one who is in a Guinness World Record event, right, where you're part of a legacy project, you've written a chapter, you're the one that stands out. So the first word in, and I'm going to ask Jim because I know he knows this. What's the first word in authority?
It's author. Author. It's And people don't realize that once you've published something, once you have gotten yourself into a book, it just changes the way people look at you. Like I've still got friends that just, they just look at me. Like I can remember the first time I went to a family gathering years ago, and it was just after I published my second book. And I decided to gift the family members a copy of it because I was just excited to have it out. Well, my nephew was just starting to date this young girl. They're now married, of course. And I gave her a copy of the book, and she looked at it. She looked at me. She looked back at the cover. She said, "That's you." And I went, "Yeah, that's me." But that's the kind of thing you get when but the thing is that people now look at you as an expert because now because you've published something, you're the authority in that field. And now all of a sudden they look at you through a different lens because now you've written the book on it. Now it makes sense because you've got it in paper, you got it on ink, you got it in front of you, and now people recognize you in a whole new way. And now that's ways that you can leverage to get business and do other things with.
Yeah, amen, brother. No, yes, you explained it very well, man. And that's why I'm grinning ear to ear because I remember the first time I one of my books, and it wasn't even a great cover or anything. The print was so small. Look at this, you can't even read it. And I wrote a book called 101 Ways to Thank a Veteran, a how-to guide for honoring our country's most valuable resource. Long-winded, right? And I took a picture of this, and there it is, Amita Rahman, just the cover I did. And I remember when I was signing this over to somebody, I can see people were treating me differently. It was like a celebrity, and it was incredible. I started to get more speaking engagements. I've always wanted to share my thoughts, but nothing quite does that like being a part of a book or a legacy project. And even if it's not your own book, the fact that we're going to end up with a book, right? So we're going to end up with a wonderful book. And they're going to have the opportunity to purchase some of this. This will be all part of the package that Jim will put forth. And you're able to say, hey, proudly that you are a part of a book and watch how your perception when you're signing a book and when people are taking a picture on social media, imagine what that will do for your business.
Yeah. Yeah. And you look at the way people struggle today. Everybody is fighting with algorithms on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn and other platforms, right? Everybody's fighting with those to get, 10 or 20 views on something, maybe 50 views. We finally feel like we've cracked the code a little bit if we've gotten that way. Now, picture this. You take 5 minutes to complete the form, to write your chapter, to get in this book. Now all of a sudden your name has gone to a minimum of 130 people. A minimum, right? Because you're connected, because we have to have 130 to connect with, or to do this challenge. The aspiration is 250. I have to sell 100 copies before, so it's actually a published book. It's a publication, so I have to sell 100 copies to the public before we use this on the day of the event. So now literally your book could be between 300 to 500 people in one book. Now you've just cracked the code. You've done what people are struggling to do on Facebook and Instagram. You can do it with one book and get in front of a few hundred people. And that's not to mention the people that are going to be reading it afterwards. They're going to be reading through the quotes. They're going to be skimming through the people that are part of this chapter, in this book. Your name is going to be now in front of a whole new audience, a whole new level of people.
Guys, Jim
With
Heatherton.
one move.
One move, guys. The authority building system. You just heard it. He just gave you a sneak peek of what he's going to be talking about and others that he's handpicked to be on that stage to share with you, whether you are a current author or you've authored multiple books. Either way, people are going to pour into you. Can you imagine and picture, as Jim said, that kind of leverage? And by the way, entrepreneurs, we know that's our word, right? Leverage. When I'm talking to my family, my friends, and we're putting on events, I say, guys, leverage. The best definition I've ever heard is to use a resource for maximum advantage. So you take that book and all of the co-authors, 100 plus, shooting for 250, that's where it's fine, but we know we've got to hit that 130-ish mark. You ending up with some new friends, potential contacts, an incredible way to finish 2026 strong. So listen, I can't speak enough about Jim's invitation and how that invitation has already changed the lives of many others who never even knew Jim, who are now partnering up with him. That's the incredible thing, right? There's people that never knew Jim, they didn't know, and now they're going to be a part of this book. They're thanking me, and there's many that Jim and I do know, and they were like, "Oh, I didn't know that was a thing." So,
yeah, and I'll give you one more thing. So somebody that's already in a book, that's already an author, let's say they've got 2 books. Well, let's just take one book. Take one book, and now you get in this book. So you've just doubled your ROI, right? Yeah. Simple math. You invest in and become a part of this project, this event, this legacy project, and now you can apply what you learned the day of and what you learned to do with this book. Now you apply it to your book. Now you've just doubled your investment. And so if that other book is a co-author book, now you know you can go a certain level with that, take your chapter and you can do all the stuff with it. If it's a full book, now you can just do it, 10, 12 times, whatever number of chapters. It's, so you're multiplying your ROI just by being in one book. If you've been in multiple books, you're going to get even more.
Guys, listen, guys, the authority building system right here, yours truly, Jim Heatherton, has put something incredible. He's curating a room, especially for authors and those that are aspiring to be authors. And it goes without saying, if you are a speaker, you need to be in the room. By the way, there's podcasters that are going to be there. So think about the leverage. We talked about leverage. You heard me say to use a resource for maximum advantage. Not only does Jim have like speakers from all points, US and Canada, pouring into you on how to leverage your story. It's about, at the end of the day, how you monetize your story. Many of you have done books. You've got books. You just don't have a clue on how to start. This is why you need to be at this event. Jim, final words. How can people get a hold of you? What should they do? Next step.
Yeah. Well, they could certainly reach out to me on Facebook, Instagram. They can connect with me, but I want them to connect with you and Daniela, and then you can get them in, get all the details to them, support them to come along there, and then you can talk about let's take 30 seconds and just talk about how easy the chapter is. Right?
Yeah.
Because I know that's the first thing everybody's like, if they've never written, they're going, oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know if I can write a whole
Yes.
chapter. And you get other people that have been in books, they're going, I don't want to write another chapter. This one is so easy, isn't it? It's just a form where you're just going to, you get a link to a form, you put your title, your subtitle, and a quote. It could be an original quote. It could be a famous quote. It could be a short poem that's something inspirational to you, and then describe it in 100 and 150 words, why that's inspirational. Why should other people care? Why would that impact? How would that impact them? Write a short little blurb on that, and then your short bio. And like you said, it took you less than 5 minutes to do, didn't it?
Yeah, guys, listen, it's a wrap. Connect immediately. I'll give you a sneak peek. Life shrinks or expands according to one's courage. That's the quote that I wrote there. And that's the quote that I want to leave you with here. So wherever you're at in your life right now, if this has touched you and you're like, oh my God, I don't really quite know what's going on. Yeah, you need to step into that, right? Because it's not going to get better by chance. You've got people reputable like Jim who has come on here. He stopped his whole life just to come here to tell you that this is something that he's curated especially for you. So my good brother, I'm so grateful, excited for May 29th. Thank you again for the invitation to be a
you're
part of it.
welcome. Yeah, no, it was my pleasure. I'm excited that you've joined forces with me on this. I'm excited for that, and I'm excited to see everyone in the room. And stay tuned, because we're going to be introducing more and more of the people that are going to be behind the scenes, going to be in the room. We're going to be introducing them over the next couple of weeks, the next few weeks. We're going to be introducing even more. So I love it.
Amen. Thank you, my good brother. Listen, sharing is caring. If this has touched you, if you know someone who needs to hear this, please share this out. This is so important. Guys and gals, we love you. Look out for more information, as Jim Heatherton has said.